Anytime you see what looks like a breakthrough, it is always the end result of a long series of little things done consistently over time. Jeff Olsen, The Slight Edge. This is where we talk about perhaps the most damaging conditioning of all, the microwave culture, where your senses are being bombarded with enticing messages of quick results, where quantum leaps and life-changing breakthroughs are just the other side of that download, program, or certificate. And worse than that, the pictures and the copy let you believe that it's going to be so easy, way easier than what you're already doing. In this final bonus episode, I'm telling you the very unsexy truth about breakthroughs. So if you don't want to hear the truth and you want to continue on the treadmill of buying, doing, and trying more things without getting any different results, you can totally switch off now. But if you're with me and you're ready to commit to your breakthrough, no matter what, grab your drink of choice, pen and paper, and let's go. So over these last 6 episodes, I've introduced you to the 3 pillars of my signature coaching program, Build Your Business Six-Pack: brain and mind, body and energy, high performance coaching, and strategy. And then I gave you the first 2 essential components that will 100% create your next business breakthrough. Number 1 was finding your potholes. It's about discovering why you're not doing the things that you know you need to be doing and problem solve there with the start before the start mentality. Setting yourself up for success. Don't just start the action. And the number 2 was being before doing. Everyone can be given a proven strategy for success, and yet 95% of those people won't succeed because of who they choose to be. You must choose conscious creation versus conditioning. You must understand the different energetic signature that comes from the thoughts that you're holding about the action you're about to do and the result that you expect to happen. So now you have your plan, you know who you need to be, and this final component is where you put it all together. So are you ready for this big reveal? Let's have a little pretend drum roll here. Sweat the small stuff. Yes, I want you to sweat the small stuff. Here's 5 very unsexy things that you don't want to, but need to hear. Number 1, give almost all of your intention to the daily, often repetitive actions that yield no visible result day in, day out. Number 2, focus on the process and not the prize. Number 3, either stop expecting to feel happy and excited and in flow about it all, or choose thoughts that let you feel all of these things despite the monotony and the lack of evidence of success. Number 4, there are going to be times when you don't want to, but you're going to have to anyway. And number 5, you're going to have to stop committing to comfort somewhere. And here's the real kick in the pants. The solution is super simple. The application is hard, especially at the beginning when you're challenging decades of conditioning, when your brain is fighting for safety, when your nervous system is on red alert, when you're desperate to see evidence it's working and you don't. And that's where the 95% quit. And this right now is where you get to decide what percentile do you want to stay in. This is where, if you choose the 5%, you problem solve for your potholes, you decide who you need to be, practice the thoughts and behaviors accordingly. And number 3, you sweat the small stuff and stay focused on the tiny steps daily that will guarantee your results. Stay in your lane. Stop clicking on shiny objects on social media. Practice thoughts that what you're doing right now is more than enough. Have faith that evidence is being created and you will see it in your reality if you don't quit. And just to kind of give you some evidence of that, I want to share a story of a client I'm working with right now. And she recently said to me in the last couple of weeks, she was like, well, I went to this a few months ago. She bought this skirt from a thrift store. And she hadn't been allowed to try it on. She got it home and it was a bit too tight. It didn't really fit properly. And she just said to me, I actually tried it on yesterday and it's actually now too big. She said, but I don't feel like I've done anything like big. I haven't changed anything massively to create that. And I said, well, hang on a minute. What about the fact for the last 2.5 months, you've committed to stretching and meditating every morning. You've been practicing self-love and letting go of the weight of opinions of what you think other people think. You've chosen to be more intentional with your food choices as many times as you can. You've chosen to move more. And the result is that without too much discomfort, the skirt that was too tight is now too big. And it comes back to this very simple message. It is the small, seemingly inconsequential daily actions that make the biggest difference. That is like a paraphrasing from the book, The Slight Edge, which, as you may now have realized, is a phenomenal book. So how do you create this slight edge for yourself? It's really very simple. You take a look at your desired outcome. You identify all the steps you could take to get there, and you pick those with the highest chance of you cultivating consistency, and you commit to doing them. So as you know, I like to give you some kind of example. So let's just, for now, just go with a weight loss example because it's super easy to create, right? So the outcome is you want to lose 15 pounds. What you could do is you could consume 1,500 calories a day. You could count your macros. You could swap your cereal and toast for a loaded protein shake. You could walk 10,000 steps a day, get a personal trainer, hit the gym 5 times a week. What you could do, but maybe haven't considered also doing, is getting more sleep, reducing your stress, intermittent fast. But what I want you to do is to choose something where you can choose consistency over intensity. You can change the intensity later as you gain momentum and results, but in the beginning, go for consistency. Start small and stay with it. Do it all and you trip and fall, right? So start small and give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Do not get sucked into it has to be big actions every day. That's what keeps people failing. So you may choose, you know what? Okay, I'm going to change my breakfast choice and go for the protein shake. I'm going to hit 10,000 steps a day and I'm going to go to bed 1 hour earlier. You could even pick 2 of those and you would still get results. Track your results weekly and don't consider changing the process for at least 30 days unless you genuinely want to because you feel good. Never change it because you feel like you're not doing enough or that you're in from a space of lack. Only then do you add on. So let's give this as a business example. Say, for instance, you want to double your income. So what you could do, you could post more on social media. You could grow your email list, start a podcast, start to network, launch a new program, raise your rates, start paying for marketing, hire a salesperson, create another lead magnet, do a free training, do a webinar. But what you do is for 3 months, you choose to focus on building your podcast audience. You do that by sharing on just 2 social media platforms every day with links to your podcast. The podcast has one very simple call to action, which invites your listeners to your email list with something of value. And then you nurture those new subscribers with an email sequence and offer. And that's it. That's all you do for 3 months, over and over and over again. And now you can see how starting before the start works. Because you could say, okay, I want to grow my email list. What do I need to have in place for me to be able to do that? So today's application exercise for sweating the small stuff is to write down your goal or your goals, because remember that building your business 6-pack is a holistic approach. So you might want to also have a goal that supports your business, something that's maybe fitness or emotional. So for me right now, I'm on a big health drive. I want to be the strongest I've ever been. I'm in perimenopause, right? I want to lose some body fat. I want to get strong. I want to get more sleep. I want to cut back on my alcohol, all of those things. And all of those things are benefiting my business because of, number one, who I'm becoming to commit to those things, but who I'm becoming because of the results of committing to those things, right? So think outside the box. Write down all the steps that you could do. Choose what you will do, and then get accountable. Simply get a tick sheet, get a piece of paper, write it down. You don't even need to put it on a computer. These are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. I'm going to swap out my breakfast and I'm going to drink 2 liters of water. And every day that you do it, you just put a little tick in the chart. It can be that simple. So notice again that the application isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about changing what you're doing. It's about changing who you're being while you're doing. And it's about being part of the bigger picture. It's about being part of and involved in that process. There are a couple of other resources that I highly recommend. I will put these in the show notes for you. Books that I highly recommend to my clients and to you The Slight Edge, which is for me a game-changing book. Atomic Habits, the 12-week year. What I like about the 12-week year is it helps you to identify those things that you're going to do and put them into a simple way to execute. And what to say when you talk to yourself. A really, really, really good book. Now, I'm also going to add a couple of links in the show notes to a couple of TED Talks that will really help your brain to understand that the priority should be on the process and not the prize. Keep your focus on the process and not the prize, because then you'll remember that what you're doing is, it's the little steps every day that are going to make the difference. It's the little steps that create the big outcome. And when you stay focused on the outcome, you forget that you miss a step, you miss the outcome. You've got to focus on that. So you've now got everything you need in these 7 short episodes, which you can listen to in less than an hour and a half. You have got the tools, you've got the breakthrough quiz, you've got worksheets, you've got additional videos and audios that are going to help you train yourself, retrain your subconscious mind, going to help you learn how to shift your state. You have enough right now to create your next business breakthrough. That's all I wanted for you from this series. But if you have loved it, please make sure you leave me a review. Please do share these episodes on social media, and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing these fundamental things inside these 7 podcast episodes, and you will guarantee your own success. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again in the next episode of the Build Your Business Six Pack podcast.